Welcome to Rural Creek Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people like you. Welcome you all to the show. We're going to jump right in like we always do right about this time, right? And I did a subject yesterday about the Knights of Malta and their beginning, right? And I just want to clarify something with you, but I'm going to go over something real quick to give you an understanding, to show that I'm actually giving them their just due from their start. The birth of the order dates back to around 1048, right? Merchants from the ancient Marine Republic of Amalfi obtained from the Caliph, which is Islam, of Egypt, the authorization to build a church, covenant, and hospital in Jerusalem. And the Caliph was Nasir al-Dawla ibn Hamdan, which actually reads Nasir al-Dawla, son of Hamdan, right? He gave the permission to these merchant marines of Amalfi to set up a hospital, a convent, and a church in Jerusalem, right? And it was supposed to be for pilgrims of any religious faith or race, right? And that was the start. But the actual title of this, what we're speaking about today, is Standing with Farrakhan. And you may ask, well, why am I bringing up the Knights of Malta and what took place in 1048? What does that have to do with standing with Farrakhan? Only in the context of this, right? When Nasir gave these merchants rights to set up, right, the Knights of Malta in Amalfi, he was out of Egypt. He was a Muslim. It was certain reasons why he allowed them to set up shop in that area, because the agreement was that they would help any religious faith or race, that the hospitals in Jerusalem were set up to help those who were ill, and actually, do good deed, be pious, charity, be obedient. So it was setting up an order for the uprightness to help man in their time of need, right? But as time progressed, just since from 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, it came out that Pope Francis, he stepped in and took over the order, because the practices that they were doing in Africa and giving them contraceptives, what was behind that was to stop the birth flow or the reproduction of Africans in Africa. Because the Pope understands that when something is set up from a righteous nature, right, and you go behind it and do the adverse, then the foundation and what was built upon, it crumbles, it turns to dust, right? And people in high-ranking positions who know this, but yet they go against it, then there's signs of corruption there, and it has to be taken over and set back right, and some repentance has to be made, and some form, whether it's economic or something of value, has to be given to right that which was wrong, in order to set things back, or in order to balance things back out evenly so we can move forward in the future, right? Okay. And you say, so what does this have to do with Brother Farrakhan, right? Okay. Now, first I'd like to say that Brother Ishmael does such a great job in raising people up into the knowledge, right? He does a great job. Because when Brother Ishmael finishes his lectures or teachings, you can sit down and discuss the teachings on an equal playing field. He doesn't come off as, hey, everybody, look at me. So as far as vanity, it's to, hey, let's raise the people up to a higher knowledge and higher understanding, right? Why? Now we get into the Nick Cannon thing, right? Because the Nick Cannon thing is such a great topic. It's a great teaching moment, right? Now, you have a free man, right? Which is Mr. Farrakhan. And you say, well, why is he free? Because he's in the public eye. And he doesn't apologize for truth. And that's what free people do. So he is the only example of a free man that we have. And it's not what they're upset about. It's not 100% because they feel as though he says something negative towards the Jewish community. Even though when you listen to the entire speech and what he said, especially when he said that you use Judaism to hide your dirty religion, meaning you use the pure form of Judaism, but underneath that you doing something sneaking and underhanded, but you fronting as in Judaism. You using Judaism as a cover to do your dirt, is what he was pointing out, right? And he got criticized for it. But they didn't say he was lying, and then they didn't prove him wrong, right? But the thing about it is people don't want the black man and woman to see an example of true freedom and follow that example. So they'll send a Nick Cannon out there who may speak the truth, but when they come behind him and say, what did you say? Go apologize. And he has to, I'm sorry, I need to learn about this and that, and he get to apologizing and whatnot. Then they go over to a man like Farrakhan. He said, apologize for what? Farrakhan said, I didn't say anything wrong. What am I apologize for? I'm not your boy. And that's what they're upset about. Because they scared that free man and energy will start to maneuver throughout the black community, and all black men and women start standing up and saying, hey, I researched this, I studied this, I'm free, this is what it is. Black folks been suffering in America for over 400 years. We tired, we're not taking it anymore. Black lives truly do matter because we love ourselves, and that's why black lives matter. But yet, opposite forces are trying to treat us as if our life don't matter. So they feel like they can shoot us down the street, police brutality, and that's just what it is because you didn't do nothing but kill another nigga. You see? And that mentality is played out now. So in 2020, for those who've been listening to Mr. Farrakhan, which I got familiar with Brother Farrakhan in 93, right? 1993. Because I saw the strength and I saw the freedom that he exemplified. And so when I was remembering and listening at some people talk about when Jesse Jackson was in '84 was running for the presidency of the United States, and he made the comment, Town, and you may hear Mr. Farrakhan speak upon this, through the climate and what was going on. Reverend Jesse Jackson made that statement, and it upset the Jews, but he had to go and apologize for that, right? Nick Cannon had to go and apologize, right? So many folks had to go and apologize, but here was one that said, apologize for what? What did I say that was wrong? Prove me wrong then. And they never proved them wrong. They just said, I took parts out of context and said, black people, you should condemn Farrakhan. Why? And you start wondering, why are they jumping on this man the way they jumping on this van? What is going on? And then I realized, when you have a free mindset, then you have actions of a free person. And then when you have actions of a free person, you start saying things like, oh no, never mind, I take care of it myself. You start saying things like, nah, that's okay, let me handle that. You start saying things like, no, don't bother, we got it, or I can do this for myself, but I appreciate the sentiment of you trying to assist me, but I can do it on my own. And see, once you start saying that, and if you are black gold, then someone is saying, well, wait a minute, if you start doing things for yourself, how am I going to make some money off of you? You won't need me. So if anybody comes out and says, hey, you need to do for yourself and build something for yourself and build something for your people, they actually cutting into the money of other organizations or other communities or other people. And that's a no-no. So they're saying, look, I'm finna fight for my black assets, because if I didn't be these agents and lawyers, and if I didn't handle this black gold, where would my money come from? If you all start doing it for yourselves, you ought to be cutting me out. So the pressure comes. But before the pressure comes, what has to be done is, I got to get something on you, right? I got to get something on you that'll be embarrassing to you, or threaten you, or loan you some money and sign this contract. But it ain't about the contract. It ain't really about the act that you done in the public. None of that. It's just some reassurance that you'll stay up under my wing. That's what it's all about. I need you up under my wing, so as long as I know you up under my wing and I can look at you, I know that I'm always gonna eat, and I'm gonna eat lavishly. And that's what the game is all about. So when you got a brother like Farrakhan who comes out and say, hey, don't you know you can do that for yourself? And then you have somebody in the background say, hey, whoa, wait a minute, cut, no, hey, don't listen to that. And I'm going to show you how I know it's true. I was at the Million Man March, 1995, October 16th, right? And there were certain organizations who they wanted to attend, but certain people told them, if you attend that march, we'll pull back our donations to your organization. And they didn't show. But they have to do that to flex their power. That's why I keep telling y'all, this game is not checkers. This game is chess. And sometimes it has nothing to do with emotions. sometimes it has nothing to do with feelings. It has solely to do with the objective, and that's to eat and survive. You don't want to think. I don't want you to think for yourself and produce for yourself because you cut me out. So it's not personal, but I gotta go in and block anybody, right, that's telling you to think for yourself, But if you think for yourself, because what did Satan say? Satan said, I just called them and they came. I didn't force them. I just made the call and they came. So when he makes the call and you come, Satan's saying, that's fair game, baby. I can call. You ain't got to come. That's part of the game. So those of you who feel like you can't achieve nothing on your own, then you the puppet. You playing the puppet game. And those of you who believe and have enough strength and can recognize the example of a free man, then you go that way and you build. It's just, it is what it is. I mean, you can't get around it. But I'm saying all this to say that the Nick Cannon situation, I mean, wow, dude. I mean, you had you done had Griff on your show. You done had Brother Tony Muhammad on your show. I mean, you done had so many brothers who Tariq Nasheed on your show, right? And soon as the crap hit the fan, you got a Jewish rabbi on your show denouncing Minister Farrakhan, and your defense of your brother was lacking. Defense of your brother was lacking, But we understand and we don't understand, right? We understand because as a black community, we love Nick Cannon. My wife be like, I like Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon built him a small fortune, right? Okay. Then on the other hand, it's like, look, man, this game is too serious for you to be jacking around because people lose their lives behind this stuff. Because the fight for the battle of souls be on, right? So you have to be very cautious in this game, right? Now, y'all bear with me because sometimes I got to go to the internet, right? In the middle of what I'm saying because I want to make sure that I got this right because I don't want to misquote nothing, right? So y'all bear with me because I want to tie this into what I'm saying, and I feel like this is important, right? Yeah. And y'all can look this up because it's not. Nah. Okay, they trying to again. Don't worry about it. Y'all gonna look this up. We're gonna look this up. It's called hold on, we getting there. I'm gonna have y'all look it up. Cause I can't find it right off. Anyway, it's the Hounds. And as a matter of fact, I'll come back and do it. Well, I did a show on it earlier. The Hounds of Amenta. Right? And that's Amenta. Right? Anyway, this is dealing with throat, right? These Hounds of Amenta are like these demonic, spiritual demon dogs, right? That when you are enlightened to a certain level, Satan send these hounds of Amenta to dog your trail, right? They know you there and you know that they're there. And what Thoth did was he would jump into different parallel universes to elude these hounds of Amente, right? Okay. So what I'm saying is, okay, you got a person that's free, right? A free man. I'm talking about Farrakhan, right? Okay. Now, he built up a hedge around the black community all over the planet. Because prior to Masfarad Muhammad coming, they always, these hounds of Amente, meaning, or these, say, white supremacists, let's say hardcore racists, right, society, want to collapse in upon the black community. You saw that in the Devil's Punch Bowl in Natchez, Mississippi. You saw it in the first Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You've seen it in the Jim Crow. You've seen it in Tuskegee. You've seen it all around where they really want to lean in, but they knew that there were forces out there that was holding these hounds of Amente back, right? So they're saying that when the minister is no longer physically present in front of us, the hedge will be removed, and these hounds of Amente, or these white supremacists, or these satanic forces will collapse in upon black folk. The only way to keep them at bay is to be upright, free, and independent, right? So the minister giving you an example of what free men do. So Nick Cannon is valuable because he gave you an example of what a free man does not look like, not what a free man does look like. So you can distinguish between the two. Here go Farrakhan saying, I apologize for what I spoke the truth, prove me wrong. Here's one, even though what he said he believed it was true, but yet he still had to bow down, right? So you got a path on which way you're going to go. Because the only way to keep them hounds at bay is to stand up and stare them in the eye, and then they'll back down. Resist the devil and he'll flee from you, right? But you got to be free in order to resist him. So that's the game, right? That's what it's about, right? So don't get it twisted, Don't get it twisted. The game, it's chess. And so since 1930, July 4th, 1930, when the knowledge of the universe was presented and given to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he taught that knowledge, and so did Brother Clarence 13. Next, we got the 5%ers and got the Gods and Earths and the NOI, and folks are moving, right? Knowledge is being built, word is born. That community was starting to exemplify freedom, justice, and equality, right? Which keeps the hounds of Amente at bay, right? But they don't stop working. They still trying to work to devour, right? And that's why when I say don't listen to these celebrities, because some of them are being used to come in and break the force field that holds the hounds of Amente back. If you dig what I'm saying, right? So when you have organizations, right? Because you had so many that started off on an uprighteous path, like you say the gangsters, the Cypress, some of the gangs in Chicago, some of the gangs in California, matter of fact, gangs all over, started off as community organized to build for the community. But you have someone behind the scene that's clever and know how to change that direction and change the narrative and turn it 180 degrees opposite on what it was created or founded to be. And then corruption sets in, right? That's why, again, when it comes to the Knights of Malta, when they start contracepting to Africa and doing things that wasn't based on its foundation. See, because when Brother Nasir granted the Knights of Malta to establish their convent churches and their hospitals. That was a blessing given to them by the original man. And by that decree, it allowed them to survive. But the Pope knew as soon as they stepped out of bounds on that, then that order would crumble, right? Because that order was knighted by the original man, right? Now, the Vatican and Catholicism of what they created with their own hands, and you see the priests and the pedophiles and the court cases and the money that was spent and whatnot, and some are trying to defend up the priests and money was paid out. That's the workings of their own head. They wasn't knighted to start the Vatican. I'm talking about what Brother Desir, son of Hamden, gave them permission to do under that order. So it's a difference, if you get what I'm saying. So, yeah, we just wanted to lay the base down and show you the reason why so many people stand with the minister, because they learned from over time. Since they've been listening, they became freer and independent, and more independent, and started building it more free, and start unifying and start growing, and mindsets start changing, and they start saying, hey, now I'd rather do this for myself. Here you go. You can take all that back, because it's like you can be in the 10th grade, man, and you could have been short 50 cents on your lunch or something, lunch money, and you was hungry, and your partner gave you $1, right? 10th grade, right? You run across them 7 years later, and they ask you for a favor, and you like, nah, I can't do that. And they say, remember when we was in 10th grade and you was so hungry, I gave you that $1, you owe me. That's what it's like. That's what it's like. Because when you try to refuse or be like, nah, I want to eat, then they say, well, remember when you was a slave and we gave you Christianity. Remember you operating under the European Christian last name. Remember, you know what I mean? They'll go on down the list and on down the list and so and so and so and so. And it's like, okay, you know what, I tell you what. You know what? Just take all of you. You take his name. You can take your religion back. Here go this picture of white Jesus. You can have that back too. You know what I mean? Here goes some of these Negro spirituals. You can take that back. You can take picnic, which came from pick a nigga that y'all would hang and sit out there and eat and have your kid. You can have all that. Just here you go. Never mind. Matter of fact, you take Christmas. We'll do Kwanzaa. You can take your Easter eggs. You know what I mean? You can have all. You can take your bunny rabbits and all that. You just take all that. There you go. You can have all of it. We'll deal with what we got. You know what I'm saying? So, till next time, Verbal Peak Radio. We out.